The past week has been very eventful in the men's singles department, with many close three-game matches and upsets in the 2024 Kumamoto Japan Masters tournament. We'll be covering a few of the tournament's games, but wanted to start with the finals match between Leong Jun Hao and Li Shi Feng. Although it was a fairly one-sided match that Li Shi Feng won, there were still multiple learnings from the match that we can implement in our own gameplay. Let's start by looking at how Li Shi Feng played.
Love it!
Li Shi Feng's strategy was very clear going into this game. Play a good spin net and win off your smash. At the front court, Li was basically always looking for an opportunity to play a spin net. If he couldn't, then he would either block far or opt to push and lift very high. In the backcourt, the strategy was simple as well. Play everything down and smash whenever possible. Although the playstyle may seem very one-dimensional, there are several advantages to playing this way. First, it puts a lot of pressure on your opponents and is extremely effective at the start of the match when your opponent isn't necessarily fully warmed up and perhaps a little bit nervous. The goal is to jump into the match and quickly build a sizable lead before your opponent finds his touch. By doing so, you create extra mental pressure that'll cause your opponent to feel a need to speed up their own play, and in doing so, cause them to make more mistakes. We see Li Shi Feng successfully execute this goal both against Leong Jun Hao and against Viktor Axelsen in his previous semifinal match. When watching Li Shi Feng play, you'll also notice that he often limits himself to playing just a few different shots. From his forehand side, he either smashes straight or slices cross. From his around the head, he goes straight, cross, or at the body, but pretty much always plays a smash.
Taking time to develop.
Change the shuttle or not in recent months.
This is the case even if he's late to the shuttle, in which the full smashes simply become drives or half smashes. We can see a similar story at the front court. When he can't net, kill, or drive, Li pretty much always spin nets when taking the shuttle up high. If he ends up a bit late, then he often plays high pushes and lifts that tend to go cross. Of course, you will see some variation, like the occasional clear or drop, but they are rare and never his first choice. This playstyle does get predictable, but it works because Li has honed in on the skills needed to execute his strategy. It doesn't necessarily matter if his opponents know a smash is coming. Li has developed tremendous explosive power that makes it difficult for anyone to lift against him. It is often the case that having two really good shots up your sleeve is enough. Let's take Li's forehand corner, for example. A really good cross slice and straight smash already opens up the court enough to prevent your opponent from positioning too aggressively to cover one shot. Focusing on just a few shots makes follow-up much easier as well because you know exactly what you want to do and your opponent's likely responses. We can see this in Li Shi Feng's footwork. Pay attention to where Li Shi Feng moves and his speed after playing his shots.
Against Li Shi went to 3 games.
Yeah.
Brilliant speed.
Li knows exactly what shot he'll play and the likely responses to each shot. He already knew what Leong was going to play most of the time, which made his movements extremely smooth.
His right thigh today, where he got cool spray.
Of course, there are counters to Li Shi Feng's strategy. What Leong needed to do was play the unexpected returns and neutralize Li Shi Feng's strengths. There were a few moments where this was happening, like when Leong opted to re-push Li's late forehand drives. Since Li was prepared for the front court and already moving forward, re-pushing to the same spot forces him to make a correctional split step and gives Leong an opportunity to potentially attack the next shot.
Shuttle or not in recent months than there used to be. I can remember Lee Chong Wei. Anybody asked to change the shuttle and he'd say, yes, of course. Yeah. I like a new shuttle.
Unfortunately, he didn't really have a combo to transition into after playing these unexpected shots, so Li Shi Feng was usually able to neutralize and reset the rally. One thing Leong could have done was opt for a cross drive in response to Li's late forehand more often and try to proactively attack Li's late shots instead of just reacting. There were a few times where he generated good opportunities from these shots and could have done it far more often.
More from, yeah, a little bit more from Leong Jun Hao, but also, I mean, I really think strategically, tactically, Li Shi Feng has played this second game.
But we do understand how hard it is for Leong to make these adaptations in the match, especially given the grueling matches he had played earlier throughout the week. All that was going through his mind was probably to push through whatever weakness or fatigue he was feeling. However, it is an absolute must for Leong to avoid playing into his opponent's combos to continue winning at this level. In general, playing into your opponent's strength will lower your win rate and naturally something we should avoid doing. And one way to do that is to learn what are the most frequent responses to our opponent's shots and play the shots that they're not expecting. Some examples include cross-blocking or relifting smashes, as the typical return is a straight block. Another example is cross-netting your opponent's cross-net, as they're generally expecting you to lift or net straight. When your opponent is not ready for your shot, they're way more likely to make a mistake or play a more predictable, safe shot that you can capitalize on. Hopefully you learned a few things from this video that you can use in your own game. To sum things up, start by not trying to do too much in your rallies. Having shot variety is important, but when you think about all the different options you have, you end up playing shots that aren't cohesive with the rest of your strategy or end up making mistakes. We can all be like Li Shi Feng a little bit in the sense of limiting each rally to a few shot options, so we have a sense of direction and an actual idea in what we're trying to do. Second, we need to learn how to neutralize our opponent's strengths and not play into their combos. Think about all the common patterns in badminton like smash net kill, spin net smash, push into cross net, etc. If you can play unexpected shots like cross net when your opponent spin nets or backhand cross clear when your opponent pushes to your backhand, you'll be able to throw your opponent out of their normal routine and control the rally. Of course, these shots are unexpected because they're difficult to pull off. But if you know these shots will win you points, it's a simple matter of practicing them.
Deception again.
If you like this video, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on our future videos. Comment below on what you would like to see next.